Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Chukas, we find the famous mitzvah, the mitzvah of Parah Aduma. Now the mitzvah of Parah Aduma is known as the classical chayk, the one that you're not able to understand. Even Chazal say that even Shlomo HaMelech couldn't, who is the Chacham he called Adam, couldn't understand how this mitzvah works, and how is it that the people who are tamei become tar, and the people who are tar, by touching this thing, become tamei. So that's the classical chayk, and that's why it's called Zois Chukas HaTorah. There is a question that you may ask. There are many things that we learn in the Torah that makes a person tamei, and then there's the process of how a tamei, a person becomes tar. For example, there are certain things that if a person became tamei, he's tamei for 1 day. Certain things, if he became more severe tamei, he's tamei for 7 days. There are those levels of tumah that after you wait this period, you still have to bring a carbon. For example, a yoledes, a woman who gives birth, has to bring a carbon. But nevertheless, we find that none of the tumahs that I mentioned till now have to go through the process of Parah Aduma as by a tamei tumas mes. By tamei tumas mes, somebody who became tamei by coming in contact with a corpse, a dead body, not only if you spritz at him, this hiefer hapara, only this makes him tar. And not only that makes him tar, but the ones who spritzed it, they become tamei. Why? What's the lesson that you may learn from that? This is such a severe tumah, and the way that Tara becomes is in sort of a flip-flop way. You take this hiefer hapara and you spritz it, specifically this, and the ones who used it and weren't supposed to all become tamei. So perhaps to tell you a beautiful answer I read, I'll give you an introduction. The pasuk says in Kehelis, we know Shlomo HaMelech says, we obviously know to be wise, chacham, is better than being foolish. And just like light is better than dark. That's the simple translation. Light and dark are not the same. Obviously, light is much better. We find another pasuk, a riddle that Shimshon HaGibber said. Shimshon HaGibber said, "Me'oichel yotzem meichel," from something that eats became good food. Ume'az yotzem masik, and from a strong became sweet. And that was a riddle Shlomo HaMelech was referring to, that when he ripped apart the lion, bees gathered together in the lion's stomach and they produced honey, and from the lion, me'az yotzem masik, he was able to have honey. Why am I bringing these two psukim? Because these two psukim are a stepping stone to understand what's unique about Parah Aduma. Unique about Parah Aduma is that we see that specifically the item that makes you tamei, we want you to use that item to make you tar. Okay, for example, we all know that the Parah Aduma, the Parah Aduma that was used to make the Tara was Parah Aduma, was red. What does red mean? Edom is red, symbolizes for Esav. It says Esav was when he was born, he was red. Esav is the Yetzer Hara. Esav is the Yetzer Hara. So here comes a person, Rachmana litzlan, he became tamei. He becomes tamei in dead corpse in Avodas Hashem, means to say he lost his spirit. He lost his spirit, as there's a wonderful Hasidic taich that you could mevatel Torah lahachnasas kala or haitzas ames or lahachnasas kala, that you could stop learning if there is a levaya going by or if there is a wedding. So there's a Hasidic interpretation. You're allowed to stop Torah if it's needed, lahaitzas ames, to get rid of the dead corpse, the Yetzer Hara within you, or lahachnasas kala, to bring in a thirst into Yiddishkeit. That's a Chassidish taich. So the same is over here. The Yetzer Hara works hard to drag a person down. And that's what the Tzeva Adam is. So you don't have to get something else, an outer thing, to shut down the Yetzer Hara. You actually take the para, which is Aduma, and you say this para Aduma itself is the Tara. We could, from the negative, like the Chassidish Taich, HaYisrain Ha'ar, the light is much stronger when it comes min ha'choshech, from the darkness. Shlomo Melech says, from the lion, from the strong, powerful, mighty lion, which people are afraid of, no, I turned it into honey. The same as a person has to know, in every negative thing, and even perhaps the worst negative thing, the Yetzer Hara, from the Yetzer Hara itself, if you stand up against him, you actually reach a height that you couldn't reach alone.